Hello again, everybody. It's Dave Stevens coming to you from the Hartford Yard Goats Dunkin' Donuts ballpark, and I am excited to be here on opening day. This is take two of what we're trying to do, but we are here live. It's the Hartford Yard Goats home opener tonight. They're taking on the Binghamton Rumble Ponies. That's the AA affiliate of the New York Mets. The Hartford Yard Goats are, of course, the AA affiliate of the Colorado Rockies. But let me bring in my guys who've been waiting so patiently all night long. And just as we go to get him, Will drops off. But Casey, it's great to see you. How's things going up there in Canada for you?
Good. How have you been, Dave?
It's a little crazy other than all of the technical errors, but this is, again, trying to do live TV from remote. You remember back in the NFL season last year, you and I were live from the Philadelphia Eagles game when they took on the Dallas Cowboys. But it's a cool night, but it's a great night. Not a lot of masks. Again, 2 years the Yard Goats have had to deal with all kinds of things here, but we've got baseball. Baseball kicked off today, kicked off yesterday in the major leagues, but most of the teams had rained out. The Yankees, Red Sox got going today, but there's some excitement up there in Toronto, Casey. You guys have some excitement going on with the Toronto Blue Jays, at least out of the gate, right?
Yes, tonight's actually our home opener, Dave, and it's a very exciting season. Two players I actually have my eyes on are Matt Chapman and Vladdy Guerrero Jr. Actually, in the off season, something interesting that Vladdy said was last season was the trailer, and this season's going to be the movie. So we have a lot of excitement here in Toronto, and I'm really excited to see what this team can do. If that's true, watch out the rest of the teams. We're coming for you. So I'm hoping this year is our World Series year, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's a lot of excitement too with the way that they've expanded the playoffs. So two extra team gets in, and for you guys up in Canada, when you guys have finished with a great season, sometimes fourth isn't enough to get into the playoffs. So hopefully that helps. And you guys got some great young players up there. Of course, the lineage from the fathers and everything. And I just heard something go on behind me. Off the wall. It's a double here. Binghamton is kind of taking it to the Yard Goats already, as the fans here are kind of not getting excited about the pitching performance so far from the Yard Goats. But Casey, you've been watching a lot of what's been going on in the world of sports, but let's get an update as far as what's been going on in hockey. I know a couple nights ago you had the opportunity to meet some big names, not only in the broadcast world, but some legendary players like, I don't know, a guy named Eric Lindros.
Yeah. It was actually interesting because I was at the Conn Smythe Sports Celebrities Dinner and Auction in support of Eastern Southern Ontario, and we actually gave a Lifetime Achievement Award to Eric Lindros, who actually does a celebrity hockey tournament every year for Easter Seals, and that event has raised over $3 million. So that's quite the achievement there, and I've had the pleasure of attending that event several years now. And the other lifetime achievement we awarded at the dinner was to Joe Carter, Touch 'em All Joe, who in '92 and '93 had a big year with the Blue Jays winning the World Series. And he actually made a quote at the dinner saying he didn't know that Rogers Center could hold 390,000 people because everyone he talks to claims they were at that big game in '92. And when I met him at the dinner, he actually said to me, I hope you were at that game too. And I said, don't worry, Joe. That was actually before my time. So you're safe with me. But it was a great event. Great that we can hand out lifetime achievement awards to two legends in the sports world, and it's just a great event for me to attend. And we actually introduced our provincial Easter Sons ambassadors at that dinner, and I actually had the pleasure of being at that dinner in 2009, being introduced as a provincial ambassador. So when I go back every year, it brings back a lot of nostalgia and a lot of memories for me. So it's a great event and a great thing to attend every year.
Well, I know you get to do a lot of cool things, and hanging out with Joe Carter is not too bad. Of course, that big Grand Slam against the Phillies, and it's great because he was such a great ambassador to the game as a player, and now he's an ambassador to the game afterwards, and that's what's great. And I know you guys, you get to meet a lot of these guys and talk to a lot of these people, and it's important that they intermingle with you guys and the sports fans. And I know you've developed some great relationships along the way.
Yes, I sure have.
So what's next on the agenda for the Maple Leafs? What do you got going up there as far as where they stand in the standings?
So, Dave, remember about a month ago when I told you I wasn't sure who the MVP for the season was going to be? Well, now I really know that it should be Austin Matthews, hands down. He was tied with Rick Vive for 54 goals in a career high season, but that was recently broken, and he got to 56 the last game. So that's been pretty exciting for us. The last little while here, and I'm hoping he can get to 60, possibly 65 if he keeps this streak up. So it's been a pretty exciting time for Leafs fans, and yeah, I really think he should be in the MVP running, and I have no doubt that he's going to win it if his
Well,
play
I know it's
keep.
exciting times, and it's exciting times here, right here. Right here, the Yard Goats game. It's as close as you're going to get to Major League Baseball. It's the best field and stadium, and I'll just kind of take you here. A quick thing: we got television stations here that are doing live shots, breaking into news here, and we got all the fans up here enjoying some beverages and some the VIP area like that, and it's a sellout tonight. And if you can see over my shoulder behind me, down there, the Binghamton Rumble Ponies are at bat. I think they're up 1-0, but again, they've been hitting a lot of balls off the wall. They've got 4 hits, but every time I turn around, it seems like those are the ones that are popping off the wall. But the excitement is in the air because baseball is back. And Casey, I know, are you going to get any chances to get to some Blue Jays games this summer?
Actually, I'll be working at Easter Seals Camp this summer as a cabin counselor, which is pretty exciting. So I won't get to any games in person probably, but hopefully I'll have the chance to watch some on TV. And as I said, there should be a really exciting season. So I'll be rooting for the boys, and hopefully we can bring home a World Series this year. Hopefully, this will be our year. So
Well,
we'll
I'm
see.
I'm excited because the Twins made a lot of changes. They got a lot of Yankees that have moved over, so we'll see how Gary Sanchez is going to be as a catcher for the Twins. And we were supposed to have Will on. I know we've had some earlier connection issues, and Will was going to join us. He was at the Masters, and he actually got to see. Hey, he's back. Let's see if we can bring him in real quick because I know he's got to get to work. But let's bring in Will real quick. We got a couple of minutes. Will, you're with us. We were talking about you at the Masters. So if you can hear me and tell us what that was like at the beginning of the week to walk around with Tiger and see him getting back in shape to play golf.
So, yes, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Talk about some golf, Will.
So I flew. So I had some weather issues going that way, and for a second, I got scared I wasn't going to make it, first of all, but I'm glad that I made it on Monday morning. Dream come true, my friends. Just from walking on the ground, seeing the first tee, and walking the course, I'll tell you a couple of things. The TV doesn't do the course justice. It's probably some of the greatest nature that you'll be able to walk on in your lifetime. So that's one thing that I will tell. Go ahead.
When you were walking with Tiger, I mean, could you tell that he was in playing shape to play 18 holes of golf? Did you realize that he was going to come out? I mean, Tiger Woods, you didn't expect him to play. So what was that like walking?
So when I walked with him, when I saw him and his caddy Joe, based off of how he was hitting the ball on Monday afternoon, I knew he was playing, and his caddy Joe confirmed that he was basically going to play on Thursday. And I talked to him that Monday afternoon.
Did you notice anything different in his walk or his swing or anything as he was out there on those courses?
So he was surveying a lot of the course and the conditions of the course. He wanted to make sure that he could do everything from a walking standpoint and all that good stuff. But he was taking more of a mental prepare because the physical swing was there the whole time.
Well, I'm glad to see him playing. He's competitive, and he's been doing good. Casey, have you checked out the Masters at all?
Yeah, we have three Canadian players: Corey Connors, Mackenzie Hughes, and Mike Weir. And it seems like Corey Connors and Mackenzie Hughes will make the final cut, but Weir is in 60th place, where Mackenzie Hughes is in 32nd place, and Corey Connors is in 14th. So I think those two will make the cut, but it's not looking like Mike Weir will. But uh, I think we'll have some good Canadian players in the final, hopefully. So here's hoping.
And I'll go throw it back to you, Will. I know you got to go real soon, but where does this rank? I know you've been to Super Bowls, you've been to some amazing events, but just being at the Masters and seeing what it was like where people just don't get to go, what was that like for you as an experience for your career?
From a venue standpoint, I would say it's the best venue in all of sports I've ever been to. Above like Super Bowl games per se, it was the best venue in all of sports I've ever attended. Now, there's a lot of great people that I've met at Super Bowls, and such as yourself and many other people that have been on my journey. But as far as the actual venue itself, best venue in sports, and it's not even close.
And I know you're going to be heading out to the NFL draft. What are you going to be doing out there? Because you got a lot of cool things going on in your life.
Draft on the 27th of April. I am excited to see all my friends again, from fellow media members, and I'm just looking forward to see what we select at 12 with the Minnesota Vikings, and we'll go from there. I hope that we go cornerback or defensive line myself, but I trust the organization and what they do. They might do a trade back if it makes sense. If their top targets are gone and we feel like we can get some value, maybe similar to what Philadelphia and New Orleans did, with Philadelphia getting an additional first round pick for next year because the quarterback class isn't the strongest. So maybe Philadelphia uses that extra one next year to trade up to get their quarterback of the future for if you want an NFL draft early take. So
Well, it's going to be exciting, and hopefully we'll tap into you for that. We got baseball coming up. We got the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's going to keep Casey happy, and for me, well, there's nothing like baseball. So I'm going to take my sons to a few games this summer and try to get everywhere, and that's what we do at the Disability Channel and Press Box, and we continue to showcase all of those amazing things that people can do despite overcoming what we call a disability. But to us, at Casey, everybody knows that we are not disabled, and there is nothing that keeps us from doing anything that anybody else doesn't, including covering sporting events like Will did and Casey has done, and being a part of all these wonderful things. So, Casey, got any final closing thoughts as far as what's going on in the world of sports?
Yeah, I'll definitely keep everyone updated on how the Stanley Cup playoffs are going, how the Jays are doing, and as I say, I really hope this is Toronto's year for sports. But we'll see what happens. I'm keeping positive, and it's looking great. So we're just keeping on rolling here up here in Toronto.
And Will, before you go, tell us about your other podcast and your partner and where we can listen to it and hear that.
So me and my partner Troy Geary, we have a show called the Gary and Stein Sports Show, and you can hear that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Facebook, Twitter, social media, all that good stuff. So you can search for me on Facebook via Will Stein. Twitter is Stein and Nine, and Instagram is Stein and Nine, and there'll be information. And there's a Facebook page, the Gary and Stein Sports Show, if you want to look at that. and I am awaiting a great weekend from the Masters, and I look forward to see who is crowned our next Masters champion.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up this real special mini edition of Press Box for the Disability Channel. For Casey and Will, I'm Dave Stevens, again live right over here where the Yard Goats are still trailing in this game. And again, if you're watching this after the fact, you can also look up what the final score was. We don't have to tell you who won or lost because does it really matter? But continue to follow us on all social media. I'm Dave Stevens. It's great to be a part of your world. Continue to support the Disability Channel. We'll check you out next time. Have a great night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Will, it was so